It's Roger again, Mudfossil University. Amazing email from a friend today, Greg Morrison. And I'm going to be talking about lungs at the same time. I want you to look at this carefully and look at this. They're both lungs, and so is that. Now, you see that brown and the rest is limestone. You see how this is filled in and these are open. It's a different type of petrification, a different type of conditions that lead to these different type of mud fossils. Now you can look at it and you can see this is exactly the same as this right here. This feature here is exactly the same as this feature here. That tag is the same as this tag. These holes are the same as these holes, except they're filled. So look at that while I read to you something, because I am going to show you in mud fossils here on my bench part of what they're doing in the anatomical cave that they have discovered. Now, this guy Greg, who has sent me some other stuff, very good contributor to mud fossils, has apparently, his partner went on a caving expedition across the U.S. from here to California over New Year week. In a certain place, I'm going to tell you where it was. He went searching for a cave, and he heard that he heard about as a child. And he couldn't find it, and he ran around all over town asking people. And they said that the government blows up any cave that gets reported, so they don't tell anyone about the caves anymore. So I guess he was kind of disheartened and was leaving. He said he was driving along and saw a man standing in a field, spoke to him, and he said that he didn't know where any of the caves were, but he sort of winked at him and said if he was looking, he'd probably look at this certain hill. So, of course, they went over there, and they found a hole and crawled in it, and it opened to another hole that opened to a huge cavern. Then there was a passage half filled with water. They belly crawled, well, I'm sorry. The hole opened to a cavern. Then there was a passage half filled with water. They belly crawled, it opened in an even larger cavern. I'm going to send pictures we took while we were in there. He doesn't understand mud fossils yet, but now I will be going back to find this and take many more pictures. He said the entire cave system, listen to this now, the cave system seemed almost as if someone set a giant hill on top of the ground, and then a cave system was inside of that hill. He said it was like the hill and caves were separate from the ground underneath it. And he said, does that sound familiar? Anyway, I am sending you pics on another email. And then he sent me a whole ton of little videos. And I'm going to show you how they entered this cave. And they entered through a lung. And that lung looks exactly like this right here. And this is a lung from another creature. And that's the lung tissue that was on the top, and underneath is where the bones were. The rib bones or the back bones, I'm not sure what they are, but those are the bones that are on the other side. So this side was down on the ground, and you either died face down or face up. I'm not sure if it was his chest or his back. But it would have rode away to the lung tissues, and then there'd be bones on the other side, which there certainly are. They're all over here now. So let's go look at what my friend Greg sent. All right, now I'm telling you, this is a female mud fossil giant creature, and this is a vagina, and I'm pretty good with vaginas, so you can see this here. That is the tissue type of the vagina. That is, see, look, it's going straight up. There it is. I mean, that's it. And the water is running out of here. I'm not sorry, that's just biology. That's what it is. I mean, nobody can deny that. That is female anatomy. Okay, I believe this is the black FeO2 type of blood that is from the veins, and it's collected here in some kind of layered tissues. Now, if you look up layered intrusions in the Wikipedia or something, you're going to see they're hundreds and hundreds of miles. They're intrusions. They're not supposed to be there. They're like these things here, layered intrusions. They're not supposed to be there. They're in layers, which is the layers of flesh. They find them all over the earth, and they are gigantic. Some of them are literally, I think, thousands of square miles. Now, I'm sorry, that's what they are. And they were creatures, literally creatures. Layered intrusions were creatures. They're not volcano, 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 volcano. No. It's flesh, blood, connective tissue, flesh, blood, connective tissue. Videos from my friend Greg Morrison, and he got them from a friend of his, apparently, who discovered this cave. Now, these are apparently from a cell phone video that he took while he was there. They weren't expecting to find anything major, I guess, but they did. Now, Greg, next time you go back, take a regular camera. I hate these things. Anyway, now, this is where they're coming down. This is a lung. Wait till you see what I'm going to show you. All right, here it goes. All right, so they come in here, and they're looking for an entrance. They're looking around, and boom, they find a little hole down in here. So they're looking around, water's coming out of it, so that's pretty interesting. So they look, and boom, that's it. Now, so let's go to the next video. That's the lung. That's the lung tissue, the same lung tissue I just showed you in the one I have sitting on my bench over here. Hold on. It's this one right here, look. It's the same lung tissue. All right? Isn't that amazing? So now, they enter this cave. Now, this goes pretty quick, so they go down and they sort of, and he told us they crawled through some stuff and they crawled through some water and everything, but that was the entrance to the cave. It's a female cave. Here goes. Here they are, and there it is. Now they're looking up there. They think that might be gold, and who could say? Look at that. What's coming out of there? It's certainly not the same as anything else that's around it. They're saying it could be gold, and it could be. All right. All right, they're going to be going back to this cave, apparently. This is what I was told. We'll have to see what happens. It's sparkling, he says, on the ceiling. Now don't forget, he said that this thing was just like a giant lump on top of the ground with all these caves running through it. It's because it was a creature that fell on the ground and he's all bled out, and what's left inside of him is here. So here it goes. Look at that, isn't that something? They just walked into here right off the street. Look at that. Absolutely phenomenal. But I could see why the government wouldn't want you walking around in there. But blowing them up, I don't think it's a very good idea. You see that? Same thing. This is all, I believe this is tendinous material, or connective tissue of some sort. You see it? It's the structural part of a person or a creature's body. All right, so let's see what else.